Hi, this is Josh with Retro TV One Tech, and today I have something really special. This is something I've been looking for almost 2 years now, ever since I started retro collecting. I finally found it on eBay the other morning, and the price was reasonable. It's in great shape. It actually works, at least according to the seller. And as you can see, it's really well packaged. So I just got it. I wasn't even going to do an unboxing, but I had to show this. This is the way that you package something, especially something retro to be shipped. First of all, it's got a nice layer of bubble wrap right here on the top, and then it's got the insulation on the sides here. But the most important part, as you can see, is there's another box in there. The laptop is in a separate box. That's the best way to protect something if you are shipping something over a long distance, especially something fragile like an older vintage computer that's got a lot of plastic on it that could easily break if it gets dropped in handling and shipping. And also, this is a solid outer box as well, but having those two layers is the best way to protect everything. So, all right. So it looks like they've included a floppy disk for boot, which is cool. This is an old Gateway startup disk, but it's WinMe startup, so that's pretty cool. So this isn't a Gateway computer, by the way. It's a Toshiba. More on that in just a bit. Then we've got Windows ME. Requires the startup disk. It's not bootable. That's fine. And then the Toshiba. That would be the drivers for it. And you can actually see the model number there, which is the Toshiba 2805 S402. And you might be like, well, what's special about that? It's the perfect combination of everything you need to play retro games. And I'll explain that here in just a bit. But look at the packaging. It's just so great. I'm going to switch to wide angle there so I can get this out. But wow. I'm going to give this seller a very good review on eBay for the way that they package this. And the computer has quite a bit of weight to it, but being in that separate box, that is just really cool. I was about to take this box off the table here, but I just noticed he's got the power supply wrapped over here in the corner. What a great way to do that. This person clearly ships computers quite a bit, and I do believe on their eBay shop they did have several computers listed. Wow, and that is in really good shape. That is the original power supply for this machine, and it is just really in great shape. I hope that's indicative of the rest of the computer. After a little bit of work with a pair of scissors, we have it open. There it is. And this is the first one of these I've ever seen on eBay, and it was just in such great condition in the pictures, so hopefully it is when we get it out as well. Oh my goodness. And this is the perfect size box for this computer, because it doesn't even need to be insulated that much. And wow, I can already tell just how good a condition it is in. I believe it's upside down right here, but you can already see the stickers and everything on it. Let's get it gently unwrapped here, and we'll take a look. I'm just going to very gently flip it over here. Oh my goodness, I'm just getting a glimpse of it, of all of the amazingness. And you can tell it's quite a large laptop. This is a 15-inch display on this thing, and it's just wow. Oh my goodness, I didn't even hardly see a scratch on it. There's just a tiny little blemish on this side. Wow, that's even better than the other one of the same era that I have. I have another one that's one model down from this, but it's got some compromises that this one doesn't have. This is the perfect all-around retro gaming laptop. And yeah, because it's got the perfect audio sound card, it's got the perfect graphics card, and it's got a huge screen, it's got a subwoofer, everything. Here it is with the table cleared off. Let's get it opened up. So there's just a little button down here at the bottom that you push, and the whole thing opens right up. So let me make sure I get a good, there we go, grip on that there. Such a big case, you want to be careful when you open it. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is just in amazing shape. It literally looks like it's brand new out of the box. Oh my goodness. And it's got the stickers on it. I saw that in the eBay ad. This is how I knew it was the right one. It's the 2805 S402, like it says here. And one of the biggest things you can see here on the stickers, it's got the Nvidia GeForce 2 mobile GPU. So it actually has these amazing graphics. It'll play all the Windows 98 games, but it also has really good 2D graphics for the DOS games. And it also has a Yamaha sound chip, a subwoofer, all the things. The only time and the only place here you can tell there's any wear at all is just right here where the person who owned this, his palm would have been. There's a little bit of wear here on this energy sticker and just a little bit right here. But I mean, my goodness, just tiny little things. Supposedly even has a working battery in it. And as I pan up to the screen up here, the screen just looks amazing. No scratches on it. I mean, you can just see a tiny little bit of dust on there, but wow, it literally looks like I just unboxed this, bringing it home from Best Buy or someplace like that. That is just so, so cool. So before we turn it on, let's check out some of the ports and things like that around this device. Another reason why it's so great is because it has both a floppy drive. Here's the standard 3.5-inch 1.44 megabyte high density floppy drive, and this is the battery compartment. It has two PCMCIA slots, so you can plug in whatever peripherals or adapters you need with those type of card bus slots. On the back, it's got a couple really important things. First of all, here's your power jack. Here's PS2 mouse or keyboard. You can get an adapter for that, but you also can use the USB, and that's probably the most important thing back here, is because you can plug in a ton of stuff to USB. As you know, Windows 98 recognizes USB joysticks, also USB flash drives, so you can copy files from a modern computer very easily with the flash drive. And I actually said Windows 98. I should have said Windows Millennium Edition. That's what this computer came with, which actually has a bad rap, but it's actually not as bad as we used to think. For a computer like this that was designed for it, it's a perfect operating system. It actually has USB working out of the box and everything. It even has FireWire. Older video cameras actually connected via FireWire. It has both a modem jack for the phone line and Ethernet. It has your VGA port for connecting an external monitor, parallel port for printer. You can also connect the printer via, of course, the USB. And then on the other side, I'm being so careful with it, on the other side, it's a DVD-ROM drive, so you can even watch DVD movies and stuff on it as well. Here's your audio jacks, line in, microphone, headphones, volume control, and then at the top, it has some music control, so that's pretty cool too. And one of the buttons up there, as you see on the far right, says bass. That's actually turning the subwoofer on and off. And in the front, I didn't show the front, these are the ports for the subwoofer. So let's flip it over on the bottom, and I'll show you a little bit of the bottom here. Let me flip it right side out here. So very gently. This thing is just so fresh and new. I want to be so careful with it. I want to scratch it, but here you go. You can see it's got some stickers on it from being used who knows where, but you can see the model number and all that. Contains nickel, cadmium, and lithium-ion batteries, all those warnings and everything. And these are just all the different expansion slots and ports where you can upgrade the memory and access various parts on the bottom of the computer. I believe this is for the hard drive. You can swap that out. This actually is supposed to have the original 20 gigabyte hard drive in it, but you can swap it for compact flash. My other one that's kind of like this, that's a lower model, has an SSD drive in it, and then here's another speaker port for the subwoofer. So pretty incredible. Just plugged it into power, and as you can see, the LEDs came on. It's got the AC adapter connection there and a battery charging, and this was supposed to ship with a working battery. And I have a few different systems that use this type of battery, and so I actually have several extra versions of this battery. So that's the good news about me having this particular system, is that I've been looking for it for a long time, but also I have a lot of parts and batteries that go to them, so I'll be able to use this on battery quite a bit. And before we turn it on, just a couple more words about why it's so special. Again, it is this 2805 S402. The 401 is the other one that I have. I'll show that in just a minute. It has the same amazing Yamaha graphics. Wait. Did I just say Yamaha graphics? Wow, didn't know they made graphics chips. Okay, obviously I meant Yamaha sound. All right, now back to the video. With the subwoofer, all the things, but it has a graphics chip that's not the GeForce, and it doesn't do scaling as well, and I'll show you that here in just a minute, of the differences of why it's good, but it's not quite as good, in that the picture doesn't quite fill the monitor the way that this one does. And then, you'd think, okay, we'll just get even a newer model than this, this one was so hard to find, let's just look for even a newer one. The problem was, the focus started to be less on DOS games and more on Windows 98, and this one was, of course, Windows ME. So all these games were coming on CD-ROMs, and at the time, everybody was really focused on the newest thing. And so as this went along, people were just looking for what's the best graphics, what's the best sound. So you can see the advertisements down here really focused on that, 3D graphics, mobile GPU, all that. They weren't talking about MS-DOS compatibility. So this was basically the last model that had MS-DOS compatibility with the sound card, but also has the DOS compatibility with the graphics. So a few models right after this, they made a sound chip that just works in Windows, and it didn't work in DOS at all. So the whole point for this machine was to do everything. To do the Windows 98, Windows Millennium Edition type games, anything on Windows 95 would work, DOS would work, everything works, huge screen, great sound. It's literally just the perfect all around. So I'm going to stop talking and turn this thing on and see how it works. I cannot wait. Here we go, moment of truth. It's firing up. Wow. Super solid. Look at that display. Oh my goodness, full screen. It looks absolutely incredible. So my other computer, this doesn't fill the screen. And so it's just part of the screen. But this computer has the perfect scaling that fills the whole screen. And it looks great. A lot of laptops will not fill the screen with their displays. So, because laptops, these old LCD screens, they don't scale very well. So if the picture is smaller than the resolution the monitor can display, it doesn't stretch. It just basically has black bars around it. So it's pretty incredible how well this one works. It's booting into Windows ME. You can hear the hard drive. Oh, that sounds amazing. This is neat, and it's got the little track point type. It's not called track point here, but it's like an IBM track point nub, basically the mouse pointer nub here. It's got that to actually control the mouse, so that works really, really well. I'm curious to see what kind of resolution he set this up as. Okay, I'm going to try the wide angle lens and see if that's a better picture on there, but let's see. It looks like maybe we could go higher resolution with this. Let's just see how it's set. Yeah, this is 800 by 600. So if we go to 1024 by 768, that should be the default resolution of this monitor. But the good news is, even at 800 by 600, this looks great. My other computer doesn't do that. It actually, the 401 that I have actually doesn't do the scaling correctly. So the text and everything don't look as good as this one does. But this is going to look even better when it's at 1024 by 768. There it is right there. So you see everything got smaller, but also it's a lot sharper. That's the native resolution of this panel. Yep, so there we go. That's what I'm used to it looking like. And just the screen, everything looks absolutely incredible. You can hear it humming away in the background. Man, I was lucky to find this thing. Well, you know what we need to do now? Let's see if, first of all, let's see if canyon.mid is on here somewhere. And I'll show you the amazing, amazing MIDI capability of this computer. It has Wavetable sound on it. This is a Yamaha sound chip, a DSXG, which is very similar to some of the professional synthesizers that they had back in the day. And so, oops, I went too fast. So anyway, so it has wavetable synthesis, which basically means it uses a recording of a real instrument to simulate what what the instrument may have sounded like. Instead of using a computer synthesizer for everything, it actually has a real recording of that instrument, and that's how it makes the sound. Now this looks like just wave files. I don't see any MIDI, so that's okay. Let's play the start sound one more time. That might be the one that came for Windows 95. Let's see what this one. I love that because it's just so like peaceful, calming, and reassuring. All right, I switched cameras because the other one just wasn't quite doing it. But let's listen to that one more time. Here we go. Actually, I can turn this up a little bit. I don't want it to blow out the speakers or anything, but let's turn this up. We're going to turn this back down, and let's see if we can get a good... So I was looking around here, and I did find a MIDI file here. This is Flourish, and this should sound really, really nice. So let's listen to this. Wow. You can hear kind of the realistic piano sounds. So the way a MIDI file works is the computer's actually performing this right now. It's not a digital recording. The computer's rendering this music in real time. That is really, really cool. Let's see what else is on here. What's the log off sound like? That's neat. A one stop, I believe, is also a MIDI file. So let's see if I can get that going here. Wow. It's very epic sounding. And here's the Yamaha mixer. It's so good. Let's see if there's anything else. Town. Just got such great sound. Wow. I mean, this sound rivals laptop speakers of today, and that screen is absolutely gorgeous. And I've got this plugged into power right now, but let's check what the battery's at. Yeah, it's literally 93% and charging. So this is a working battery. And you can see here it even has power options where you can set it to like long life, normal, or high power, depending on how long you want your battery to last. So, you know, a lot of modern conveniences in a much older laptop. Yeah, this laptop came out around 1999 or 2000, somewhere around that time frame. I believe it was like early 2000. But let's try some games. So we got Commander Keen, Secret of the Oracle. So we're going to try actually a disc. I've had this ever since I was very, very much younger because I love Commander Keen, and so it's cool to have the original disc. I could just plug in a USB thumb drive, but I want to see if the floppy works. And remember, the floppy is down here on the side, so let's give this a shot. And this may be a good argument for upgrading my 401, my other model that's not quite as good as this one, to Windows ME, because it's really struggling on 98. It actually, every couple times I start it, it doesn't start and I have to fix the registry. And this one's just really running very, very smoothly. So let's see if the floppy drive works. The seller said it did, but it seems to actually be working. Yay. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and start a DOS window, and I can actually do this probably a little bit more easily in an MS-DOS window here. Okay, let's go to the A drive. That works perfectly. We're just going to type install. Yeah, disk drive sounds incredible. C/Keen4 sounds great to me. It even has the DOS sound effects. Alright, we'll be back when this is done installing. Alright, installation was successful. Let's try it. I don't know if the sound's going to work or not. I may have to do something with the drivers to get the sound to work in the DOS box. There is another driver, like a legacy driver, that I might have to install to get the sound working, but we can at least see if the graphics scaling is working and if it's any good. So here we go. All right, let's see what happens when I hit the space bar. It says it detected the sound blaster, so maybe it's working. Oh my goodness, it's full screen. It is not full screen on the other computer. It's full screen on this one, and it looks incredible. Wow. It makes all the time I spent working on finding this thing just so worthwhile. Obviously, you can see it's blown up, but it's really, really, really good scaling. It's perfect. Fills the whole screen. My goodness. All right, let's see if the sound works on this thing. New game. All right, no sound right now. That's okay. So I do think that I need... the way this usually works is I either need to run it in DOS mode, which is a little bit hard in ME, or I would need to restart the computer and run this first, and I believe it'll work that way. So, but either way, wow, the graphics look so, so incredible. And that's just a little bit of a snafu with the way the drivers work. But either way, wow, and even the scrolling looks nice. It's got really nice, smooth scrolling in the background there. Colors are bright, nice and sharp. Wow. I mean, it's just huge. The screen is just absolutely massive. Keyboard works great. Keys are snappy. Yeah, everything's perfect. Oh my goodness. I really lucked out on this. I need to get the sound working, but I think if we restart the computer, that'll work. So, awesome. So disk drive works, games work, the scaling works. That is just absolutely incredible. So I'm going to get my other computer, the S401, out and show you some comparisons really quick. All right, so I've got both of these amazing computers here, and you can see the one on the right is my 401, my older one that I've had for several months, and the one on the left is the amazing new 402. You can see they both have the sticker on them, so you can see one says 401 and one says 402. They're both 2805. So really cool, both amazing machines, both Pentium 3 processors, by the way, I didn't mention that. They both have the same Yamaha sound chip. The only difference is the graphics chip. So let me show you the sound since I don't have the Canyon.mid file. That's the one that really, I think, shows off what the sound card can do. Let me show you the Canyon.mid on this machine because the sound card's the same. You can just hear the quality of the samples there. If you know what this is supposed to sound like, it's incredible. So anyway, that's pretty amazing. So I'm going to load up Commander Keen on this one. Now that I've already loaded that MIDI file, by the way, the sound on this one won't work either, but it does normally work. So if I load this up, let's load them up at the same time. And you can kind of see the difference in how each computer scales things. Now this one I haven't loaded anything on yet, so I should be able to get this one completely working, unless I need another driver. Either way, as far as the sound goes, I'm not so concerned about that. I really just want to show the scaling. So let me load that up here. Okay, so you see right away, first of all, they both start pretty much the same. Now, the actually LCD on the left is a little bit brighter. You can even see that. So that may just be because it's plugged in, even though I turned it up to max brightness, but still, both really, really good. So if I hit the space bar, you're going to immediately see the difference. You can see how the one on the left is full screen and the one on the right runs in a window. And it's kind of a strange size window too. It's just a weird rectangular size. It doesn't quite go to the borders. You can see the game actually automatically fills in that bluish background. So it's kind of crazy that this one on the left, this is why I wanted it, because it does full screen. So there you can see, huge difference. It's even got better color accuracy and everything else. It really, really looks nice. Now, the one on the left is a little bit stretched vertically, but I think it still looks really, really good. And I'd actually rather have it filling the screen than not. So, all right, so let's go start both of these up. I may have to, let me check the sound on this and let's make sure. We got ad-lib on here. Okay, so I don't think the sound will work on this one over here, but we can just make sure. Now, this one on the right, by the way, is running on batteries. It's really, really stable that way. So let me start here and let's just see. Okay, so yeah, still no sound, so probably I would need to install that driver, and that's okay. But what I really wanted to show you, oh, it's working on the one on the right. Okay, because it's got the driver, so you can hear the sound on that one. So there's the difference right there. That's why I wanted this one on the left so much, the 402. Because while this is great, and there's nothing wrong with this at all, having it full screen is just invaluable. Just so much more fun to play. So there you go. You can see what it looks like in a level. Just so incredible. All right, let's try one more game to compare these two. Test Drive 3. So the one on the right, the 401, already has it. Let's install it on the one on the left. All right, let's go ahead and try this on both systems and see what happens. There you go. And you can see already that the one on the left fills the screen nicely and the older one on the right doesn't. And there you can really see the difference. Wow. And again, the left is so much brighter, which indicates it probably wasn't used quite as much. LCDs tend to fade over time. And again, as this is loading, I know I don't have sound on either one, but that's okay. Just kind of to explain why this is happening. DOS games were actually programmed to run in VGA resolution, which is 320 pixels by 200 pixels tall. And so if that pixel density doesn't evenly multiply into the resolution of these laptop panels, then you have an issue where you have the rectangular black borders around the outside like you do on the computer on the right, on the 401. And so the resolution of these LCD panels is 1024 by 768, which obviously doesn't divide evenly into 320 by 200. Now, modern displays and things are able to compensate for that, and they're able to, do the math and kind of figure out what size the pixels need to be and everything to make that work. So you can see immediately the one on the left has a more modern chip in it, so it's able to do that. Whereas the one on the right, even though it's only one model older, is a 401 and the one on the left's a 402, it can make that, you know, that those calculations and make that adjustment to the pixels. So that's basically in a nutshell why the one on the left, why the 402 is so much better. It can do those calculations to stretch the screen and fill the whole play area. Now, do you notice it on the one on the right? Do you notice that it doesn't fill the screen after a while? I mean, really, you don't. You just enjoy playing it, and it's great. But wow, just to find this perfect retro gaming laptop is so incredible. Now, some of my other laptops that I have, the Butterfly that we affectionately nicknamed Carla, that's also one of the perfect retro gaming laptops because it has a 640 by 480 resolution, which divides by 2 into 320. So you've got an even division there, and then it stretches it to cover the 480, and 200 doesn't quite divide evenly, but it's able to stretch to cover that. So that one also is one of the perfect retro gaming laptops from kind of the older era. The thing that this one does a little bit better is that it will play the modern games as well, the Windows games and some of those that come on CD. So you kind of want to have both, because you can see these have some glitches in the sound and everything, and those IBMs, the sound just works every time. But it's super cool to have both. So anyway, let me load them up here. Police officer is going to ask us a question. It's interesting how it fades on the 402 on the left, and all I have to do is just like answer whatever random answer here. Yeah, I'm just super impressed with the way the graphics look on the 402. Wow. The 402 is also faster. It's a Pentium 3 850, and the 401 is a Pentium 3, I believe it is a 700, so it's 150 megahertz faster. I'm already having accidents because I'm not paying attention. But again, I got a ticket too. Well, I had an accident and got a ticket. I'm having a bad day here. Just kidding. But anyway, 84 miles an hour, that's it. I was trying to go faster. All right, so there you go. That really shows the difference between these two machines. And before I wrap this up, I wanted to show a little closer view of both of these computers, just how similar they are. And you can see the stickers on my 401 here are not quite in as good a shape as the 402, but it does still have the main sticker that has, you know, all of the specifications of the computer. The Pentium 3 you can see is rubbing off, and that's just because that's where you put your hands when you type. But other than that, everything else is really very similar. They both have the same disk drives. They both have the same I/O. They both have USB. I/O meaning like all the ports and stuff. They both have floppy. They both have CD, DVD, all that stuff. They both have Ethernet, so they actually can hook up to a modern Ethernet network. The really biggest thing on this one, again, is that amazing graphics card. So I am just super thrilled to find one in this good a shape. Again, I've been looking and looking. There's a whole message board thread on the Vogons message board, which is basically dedicated to enjoying and preserving retro computers. And they kind of designated this as the perfect retro laptop, and everybody's looking for it. And I just happened to see it one morning on eBay. I get a notification. I had a saved search for this particular machine, and I hadn't gotten anything for almost 2 years, and here it was. So, and very reasonably priced too, which is awesome. Well, I'm back and I got it working. Sound is working full screen. Yay! It's not very loud right now because I haven't turned it up all the way, but it's working. That's absolutely incredible. That is absolutely the best that could possibly be on that gigantic, extremely bright screen. Man, I couldn't be happier. Wow, I can't believe I found this thing. So fun. Perfect. All right, one last thing, a treat for the Disney fans out there. Check this out. Here's how it sounds playing an MP3. So I want to use the Walt Disney World Magical Racing Tour to show the 3D graphics performance of this system. And I can show you here that it is actually running at the full native resolution of the screen at 1024 by 768. And it's just really got great performance with this Nvidia GeForce chip here. So let's try a race. All right, we're going to do Rock and Roller Coaster. By the way, what's even more impressive about this is actually that it is running right now on battery. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, I'm trying to play with one hand here. It really just is so smooth and fluid on this mode. So not too many mobile systems had this kind of 3D performance back in the day. It was really something else. I meant to show this earlier, but one of the other amazing things this can do with the Wavetable Midi that I showed you on like Canyon.mid and some of the things like that is that it can actually be used like as a Rollin sound canvas on games like Duke Nukem 3D. So you can see here in the setup, under sound setup, I've got sound canvas selected. There's a little bit of a problem getting the Sound Blaster to work right now, so I'm still working on that. But just take a listen to how this sounds. It really sounds like unique and realistic guitar sound effects and real drums and all kinds of other stuff. It's really, really good. And of course, it's full screen as well. And finally, if you're wondering, can it run Doom? Of course it can. And it sounds amazing. And of course, in full screen. Listen to that. You can hear the drums really sound like a real drum set, as opposed to the FM synth sound. I love the FM synth for some things like Commander Keen, but for this is so much more realistic. Alright everybody, well that's all for now for this unboxing and test and try for my brand new Toshiba Satellite 2805 S402 computer. So excited to finally find this on eBay. Of course my 401's amazing and I'm going to continue to use that as well because it is a very fun, very solid machine. But wow, to have both of these, I just feel so very lucky to have found it, and just so excited to play with this, learn more about what it can do, and especially that amazing graphic scaling so that I get full screen on everything. Super excited. Thank you for joining me for this. Thank you for all your support, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep it a little bit shorter for you, but just showing you the main points of this computer. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you next time. So for now, enjoy that tech and keep it retro.